right, let's get this started. Good evening. I'm going to call to order tonight's meeting. It is Monday, October 7th, 2024. If you'd all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll take a quick moment of silence. If you do a roll call, please, Christian.
Trustee Fields.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
Trustee Reister.
Here.
Trustee Olson.
Here.
Trustee Kissinger.
Here.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Here.
President Frisbee.
Here. All accounted for. Good. We have an agenda for tonight. Is there any additions of staff? Any changes?
Just a clarification on under the warrant report total, it's $436,270 with 29 cents. It was in your packet at the bottom, but I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Thank you. Is there any trustees that have any additions or comments? Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Move as amended.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have an agenda. Do we have any scheduled appearances tonight? Ms. Mazur? No. Public officials? There's citizens' time? Yes, please.
No, you were before. He skipped ahead.
Yes,
Yeah,
please stand right
absolutely.
up to the
Sorry,
podium.
You're
if you
under
would.
public officials.
Wendy Mazur. Really, the only thing we're really working on right now is finishing up the budget. I believe we're voting on it next week for 2025. And we were supposed to have a guest here tonight. The Corporation Counsel for Kalamazoo was supposed to be joining us, so he might be on his way yet. So, but he'd like to introduce himself to you once he does arrive. So, thank you very much.
We'll make time.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you.
I'd like to just reiterate, tonight we go back to our full schedule of meetings through the summer, so we are going to be meeting the 1st and 3rd of the month. Our next meeting is October 21st, and we are excited to invite everyone to our official grand opening of your new village municipal building. That's going to be pretty exciting. It starts at 4 o'clock to 6:45, and then the council meeting will start promptly at 7 afterwards. I just would encourage everybody, the Vicksburg Cultural Arts has got a gala going November 1st. You can register at vicksburgarts.com, and they also have an online auction that benefits 100% of the proceeds to the Vicksburg Cultural Arts Group. So encourage people to go take a look at that and come register on vicksburgarts.com if you'd like to attend the gala. So that was it. So we have a consent agenda in front of us, and Jim made the addition of the warrant report total. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move as submit.
Support.
We have a motion to support. Do a roll call, please, Christian.
Trustee Olson.
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger.
Yes.
Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Fields.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. So we have some action items in front of us tonight. Jim will go through 11A.
Yes, this involves the golf course. We're requesting a motion, support, and roll call vote approving the village manager to enter into an agreement with LADS to purchase a 2024 Veradrain. It's basically a bullet air fire for air aider for the greens that's needed over the past 20 years of play, the clay in the ground underneath the greens, and especially with the weather that we had this summer, hardened, and it is just a piece of equipment that we have rented for, and it costs nearly $5,000 a time to rent. And we've found now that the on-time delivery or whatever the lead time is, we found one that's available that is brand new, and so that's our request to purchase that.
There is a request of staff to approve, entertain a motion if anyone so inclined.
So moved. Support?
We have motion and support. There's discussion. I just like to, my math is, I had to do it on a calculator, just make sure I was right, but do we plan on doing it more than one time a year? Because that's like a 9-year payback for every,
No, it'll be used multiple times during the year. If we get it in time before the weather, it would be used late in the season. When we were renting it, we were bringing it in from another golf course in late March because they use it in the fall. So it would be hopefully this fall yet, in March, and then it has needle tines that it can do throughout the year as needed, and predictably it'd be 2 or 3 times, depending upon weather and the variables, to ensure that the greens hold up.
so we're looking at like a 3-year payback on it?
Yeah, and arguably, we should be doing it 3 times a year, but with the cost of renting, we were only doing it the 1 time, so.
Right. Any other questions or comments? Would you do a roll call, please, Kristen?
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger,
Yes.
Trustee Fields,
Yes.
Trustee Olson,
Yes.
Trustee Reister,
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller,
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. Motion's approved. It takes us to our village manager report.
Yeah, just a pretty short report tonight. I wanted to update the council. The infrastructure project, the water main project, is progressing pretty nicely. Has made the turn off of Wilson Street. You're aware, I sent an email out that we did have where the subcontractor on the project hit an existing water main that goes back to the 1930s. So basically, it was in the condition that we had to shut down between 2 valves in a specific area. Repaired it, brought it back up to pressure, followed the state guidelines. I think it was 14 or 16 houses that were impacted between those 2 valves that were shut off. We had a boil water advisory for those 14 residents only that were impacted. Chief Sanderson organized the police officers to go door to door and made personal contact notifying them. It was a boil advisory for I think about 6 days. We had 1 house in that area. It was an internal issue, but it was not passing to the specifications. So we kept the boil water advisory, and then late last week had all the houses pass that were tested, and we were able to lift that. So, but it was I guess the main is that it was concentrated to that specific area. We also, in that time, tested like we do every month. So we tested the entire system wide, just to ensure that we knew the valves were turned off on the north and south side of that break. But the system wide passed, and there were no issues as well. So there was no need nor any requirement for any type of system-wide notice. It was just contained to that block. But I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
No, I just appreciate Chief Sanderson and his team going to door just to make sure everybody got the message. So.
Yeah. We met again this morning. We do have some dates. Christmas in the Village will be Saturday, December 14th, beginning at noon. We're going to try our best to get the trolley here at noon to 5 o'clock, and then a lot of events from 1 o'clock until 5, just pre the parade. So that's coming along December 14th. We have selected the date of February 22nd, which is a Saturday, for the Iceberg Festival.
So that's different than what we have on our page.
Correct, and it's because of the proximity of Valentine's Day, and then the following weekend is the Super Bowl, so businesses that were represented felt it would be better to have it on the 22nd of February. And then keeping a tradition of celebrating our I think it's 152nd and a half your birthday, will be May 17th. There's an event going on this week, both Tuesday night and Wednesday night at the high school. Starts a band competition with a pretty significant event and amount of people in town for the band all day Saturday. We have, like past years, we have allowed the high school to use some of the golf carts from Angels Crossing, and in return, we get a mention in the program, and then they mention throughout the day about Christmas in the village, inviting people back December 14th, so that's taking place this week. Any questions on any of the events?
Sounds fun. Christmas, I'm looking forward to it.
What time is the parade gonna, the parade gonna start?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock,
starts.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then next week, we have noticed in the timely manner for the Planning Commission for the zoning ordinance updates that were discussed at last month's Planning Commission and council meeting. So it'll be a public hearing at the Planning Commission meeting and put in front of the Planning Commission for a vote of support to go to the Village Council, with it coming to the Village Council October 21st. The last item I have is the south fence. Materials have been ordered, they're just delayed in getting here, but that fence should be installed no later than the 7th of November. So we're anticipating the arrival of the needed supplies in the last week of October, so just to update everyone on that.
Jim, have we got an update on the speed limit signs?
Yeah, that was, we looked into, when we first ordered them, we thought it would be a normal type post we could put in.
Yeah.
But in checking with other municipalities and with Severance, determined the best route to go was to have Severance install them with a higher quality post and cement base. And I don't know, Scott, if you have an update. I know that order has been placed, in late last week they did all the missed digs where we've selected and put stakes out that they'll be, but I don't know if Severance is usually right behind Miss Dig. Have you heard? And I can check with, I'll send you an email tomorrow, Denny, but I know they flagged it for Miss Diggs last Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I was concerned about the material that the posts were being made out of, because recently Portage lost 2 of theirs, and one was from the wind. So.
Yeah, I know that was one of the communities that Jimmy Myers checked with,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, when you got a wind that strong, it can blow a post down.
yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
But I'll let you know what,
All right, thank you.
yep. And bottom line is, we should see them up by the end of the month for sure.
Oh, good.
Thanks for that update, Jim. Moving right along, we'll go to committee reports. Anything from the trees?
Yes, went to the Rotary Club on last Friday, and Katie and Kelly did a marvelous presentation for the Rotary, and we are now collecting money for the trees, and we have enough money now to get started with trees, and we've actually, I just got a email from Kate saying that we have actually had a person ask us for a tree, so it's coming along. I think it's getting really exciting. There are a lot of people who are very interested now in what we're doing, so it looks like we're going to be a nice, beautiful tree city.
Gail, just if you would like to come and address the Lions Club, I'm sure that they would love to have you. We meet next Monday night, so
Okay,
I know the president of the club, so.
Yeah, I know. I do too. We are going to meet, I think it's this Thursday, we're going to meet again. And so then I can bring that up, because we did talk about that actually, Carl, that maybe we should go to other places. So I will tell them. Thank you.
Real quick, didn't we just have damage to a tree down by the hospital? It looked like a big chunk of it was laying off to the side of the road there.
I'm not
Okay, just before the curve. Should be on the left before the curve.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did see it as well. It must have been yesterday's wind.
Yeah, it had to have come down in the windstorm, but that tree's pretty well rotted.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in the village, but I've got 2 other people that want trees. I'll drop that information off with you too.
Good,
All right.
please do that.
Parks and Rec?
So we had a meeting last week. We locked in 5 movie in the park nights for this next year. That's one more than last year. Those dates have been locked in. I passed that information along to Christian as well, so that once we'll finalize details of what the movies are, we can promote that right off the bat next year. We also discussed we're going to be having the kayak rental unit at the beach, tentatively June 7th. We're looking at a kayak rental christening event, have some kids stuff over at the beach, kind of promote that park. The Parks and Rec Board met with Richard Piet this last week and did a podcast, my mistake, did a podcast with him regarding all of the parks in town that will actually be released in April, so kind of a kickoff. You've got Earth Day, you have the summer coming, and a nice little bit about all of the parks in town. And then the last item we had, and this was kind of Chad's idea, we discussed introducing a high school student onto the board, give them an opportunity to kind of get immersed in a little bit of local community government, have a voice in the direction of the parks, get a fresh perspective from somebody that might be a bit younger than us. And we got a recommendation from Susan Calloward at the library. She's got a CAMSI student that's interested. It'll kind of help them out too with National Honor Society volunteer stuff. And so we'll get those details hammered out and hopefully get him on the board here soon.
Thank you, Wendy. Cats, it was a pretty short meeting in Cats, but typically October and November is their busiest time of year with back to school, Western College, and the games, and KVCC use is all of them were up. They have a draft for a public participation plan. They want ways to communicate Metro bus performance, and said they were willing to come to any one of the townships or the governmental businesses, offices, and discuss with them what they can do for us. And the sewer, I did not go to. I don't think there was a lot on their agenda. And there was a fire board meeting. Planning Commission.
Next week, Planning Commission.
That's why I scratched it off.
I don't want feeling left out. I know how he feels, so.
No. Next week.
Okay, Fire Authority, we met a couple weeks ago. There was a public comment that was made about trying to get the station manned, having somebody at the stations, one person at least, 24 hours a day, so it'd be shifts. Joanna Johnson, who is part of the Kalamazoo County Road Commission, she's probably retired now, but she was retiring. She's been there quite a few years. She was part of CATS, so Tim probably remembers her. In regards to the roof at Station 2, which is here in town, they had not gotten an estimate yet on the roof. They decided they wanted to go out to get an estimate. The ambulance provider agreement, they sent out 5 RFQs, and they only received 1 back, and that was from Life. So wasn't what they expected. They were hoping to get a couple, but the draft audit, we voted last month to basically not accept the draft audit, and it failed 3-3. Schoolcraft Township and the Village of Schoolcraft also did not accept it. Unfortunately, we don't know what that means. The question wasn't asked, so the next meeting that will be asked, what does that mean that we didn't accept it? I did tell them by our perspective that I gathered from our discussion, if they would make the improvements that we need them to do, that we would then go ahead and accept the audit. I said, I don't want to speak for the council, but I said, I'm pretty sure that was kind of what we had said. They did agree to look into Siegfried Crandall doing the books at least once a quarter, and then put an RFQ out for what it would cost to have somebody come in and do the audit at the end of the fiscal year. So, other than that, the fire chief reported that they got Carter kits. They're going to be on all the trucks. These are autism kits to have. So when they enter a situation where there's a individual with autism, they have a kit that's available that they can help deal with that individual. So that's about it.
I can add, I was contacted over the weekend, and you might see some hydrants being opened up and tested as part of the ISO and pressure rating.
Right.
So,
We were notified of that in the water sewer bill that we got.
yeah, it's a different thing. I think that was the flushing of the hydrants that we do system-wide. This'll, yeah, you'll see, will you actually test
They're
Bob
required.
Miller, a captain with South County, is organizing it for the ISO rating for the fire department. So you might see some people hooking up some stuff to hydrants to test the pressure, and then they're documented it for ISO.
Thanks, Jim. So I think that's it. It takes us to, one more time, Ms. Mazur, you think your guy's gonna show up? We're getting close to ending it, so just giving you a heads up. All right. Trustees time. We'll start with Trustee Olson.
Thank you, sir. To add on to what Carl said, Joanna is resigning on election day, so that'll be her last day. And Wendy and I both went to the Kalamazoo County Road Commission meeting to find out how they're going to spend our $25 million that we got from the federal government. The grant for TU Avenue and Sprinkle is still out there. We should know in November. It's not a part of this grant, but they are looking at major improvements to several intersections, and Wendy will join me in telling you that B Avenue and Riverview is a disaster area, and they've had several accidents there, and one man was killed. His wife got up and spoke there, and that's a major intersection that they're taking a look at. It's higher on the list than ours, but I understand where these people are coming from. This is bad, and I know that intersection well. I have friends that live out on B Avenue, so I understand it. But it's time. The money's going to be there. We need to clamp down on the road commission and push them more to get these intersections taken care of. They would rather see a roundabout at TU Avenue and Sprinkle because it's easier to maintain than a stoplight, believe it or not. It seemed like a stoplight wouldn't take much, but you've always got to do repairs and replace bulbs and whatever else. They feel a roundabout pretty much maintains itself. I'll argue that point at 94 and Sprinkle, but right now I'd rather see anything there than what we have. A four-way stop doesn't hurt my feelings. Rumble strips, whatever. But the big thing is too is that some of these strips of like Portage Road, they increased the speed limit from 45 to 55 there by Gordon Neck Lake. No, they should have left it at 45. I think that the citizens need to start speaking out more. I don't have a problem with a citizen oversight committee for the road commission. Never have had, never will have. But we've got to get the word out more that the citizens are getting fed up. And I understand you can only do so much with so many pennies in the jar, but I'll leave it at that, so, but thank you.
There was an accident this morning at TU in Sprinkle when I went to work. Trustee Fields,
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Trustee Wagner,
Nothing this evening.
Trustee Reister,
Ditto.
Trustee Kissinger.
I'm looking forward to our open house in the next couple weeks. I will be here, so I'm excited about that. Have the community come and see our beautiful building. And the winter season, like you said, Tim, the Christmas parade is a fun one, so
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
looking
be-
forward to that.
Probably my favorite.
Yep, same.
President Pro Tem Keller.
I'm good.
Nice, thank you all. So you talked about the Parks and Rec student. I trust everyone had the opportunity to use the curbside disposal this year we brought back. I want to thank Jim personally, the council, for doing that, and the staff for bringing the service back to the residents. And lastly, thank you so much for the improvement of the acoustics in this room. Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
On that, the curbside, we did get that invoice, and it was just shy of $20,000. So it came under budget.
Nice, very good. So barring further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, stay here.
Go Tigers.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.